Football clubs have spent more than €100 million on a player many times. But the 10 biggest transfers in history tell very different stories. Some instantly changed their clubs. Some collapsed under injuries, pressure, or a bad tactical fit. And 2 of the names on this list completed their moves only days ago. This ranking uses the reported fees in Transfermarkt's all-time record table, rounded for narration and not adjusted for inflation. Exact figures vary between sources because some include bonuses while others count only guaranteed payments. Number 10. Florian Wirtz. Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool, about €125 million. Liverpool signed Florian Wirtz in June 2025 after he became the creative center of Bayer Leverkusen's rise. He had helped Leverkusen win the Bundesliga without losing a match in the 2023-24 season, and his ability to receive the ball between the lines made him one of Europe's most wanted young players. The agreement reportedly guaranteed Leverkusen £100 million, with £16 million more available in bonuses. That created huge expectations. Wirtz's first Premier League season was uneven. He needed time to adjust to the pace and physicality of English football, finishing with 5 goals and 3 assists in 33 league appearances. It was not the instant superstar season many expected, but at 23, Liverpool were buying a long-term creator rather than 1 year of production. Number 9. Jude Bellingham. Borussia Dortmund to Real Madrid, about €127 million. Jude Bellingham was already a leader at Borussia Dortmund before his 20th birthday, but even Real Madrid could not have expected his first season to begin so dramatically. He arrived in 2023, took the number 5 shirt associated with Zinedine Zidane, and immediately started deciding matches with late goals. The fee is commonly recorded at around €127 million once the deal's variables are considered. Bellingham then made the price look unusually sensible. He scored 19 league goals in his debut campaign, was named La Liga's Player of the Season, and helped Madrid win both the league and the Champions League. By June 2026, he had played 140 matches, scored 46 goals, and won 5 trophies for the club. Among record transfers, this one has already produced a strong return. Number 8. João Felix. Benfica to Atletico Madrid, €127.2 million. João Felix had only one full senior season when Atletico Madrid paid Benfica €127.2 million in 2019. He was 19, technically gifted, and viewed as the next elite Portuguese attacker. Atletico were also trying to replace Antoine Griezmann, so the price included both talent and urgency. The problem was fit. Felix wanted freedom between midfield and attack, while Diego Simeone demanded structure, defensive work, and direct transitions. There were impressive moments, and he won La Liga in 2021, but he never became the undisputed center of the team. Loans to Chelsea and Barcelona followed, and the original promise became a cycle of temporary solutions. This was not a case of a player having no ability. It was a reminder that even extraordinary talent can lose value when the player, coach, and system do not align. Number 7. Philippe Coutinho. Liverpool to Barcelona, €135 million. Barcelona signed Philippe Coutinho in January 2018 after months of pursuit. At Liverpool, he had become one of the Premier League's most dangerous creative players, capable of beating defenders, scoring from distance, and operating from the left or through the center. Barcelona expected him to help replace Neymar and eventually take over part of Andrés Iniesta's creative role. Instead, his best position never became clear. He was not a natural winger in Barcelona's system, and he could not control midfield like Iniesta. Confidence dropped, the crowd became impatient, and Barcelona loaned him to Bayern Munich. The cruelest moment came in 2020, when Coutinho scored twice against his parent club in Bayern's 8-2 Champions League victory. Barcelona eventually moved him on for a fraction of the original cost. Few transfers show the danger of buying a famous player without a precise tactical plan more clearly. Number 6. Elliot Anderson. Nottingham Forest to Manchester City, about €135 million. Elliot Anderson became the 6th most expensive transfer on this list when Manchester City signed him from Nottingham Forest in July 2026. The reported fee was £116 million, roughly €135 million at the time. Anderson had developed from a Newcastle academy player into a complete Premier League midfielder at Forest. His ball-carrying, defensive intensity, and ability to play several midfield roles made him attractive to a City side beginning a new era. He also arrived after helping England finish third at the 2026 World Cup. But this transfer cannot be graded yet. Anderson signed a 5-year deal only days before this video was made. The fee tells us what City believe he can become. The next several seasons will tell us whether that belief was accurate. Number 5, Morgan Rogers. Aston Villa to Chelsea, about €137 million. Chelsea moved even higher than City in the same week, paying a reported £117 million for Morgan Rogers. The England international signed until 2033 after developing into one of the Premier League's leading attacking players at Aston Villa. Rogers combined strength, close control, and direct running with improving output. Chelsea's official announcement noted that he had contributed to 40 goals in 85 Premier League appearances for Villa and had helped the club win the Europa League. At 23, he fits Chelsea's preference for young players on long contracts. But the price also creates an immediate problem. A good season will not be enough. Rogers must become one of the decisive attackers in England for the transfer to look justified. Like Anderson, his place on this list is confirmed, but his verdict is still completely open. Number 4, Alexander Isak. Newcastle United to Liverpool, about €145 million. Alexander Isak joined Liverpool on the final day of the 2025 summer window for a British record fee of £125 million, plus possible bonuses. Liverpool were paying for a striker who had scored 62 goals in 109 matches for Newcastle, including 27 in his final season. The first year did not go as planned. Isak arrived without a full preseason, struggled to build rhythm, and then suffered a serious leg and ankle injury in December. He finished the campaign with 4 goals in 22 appearances across all competitions. That makes the early return poor, but it does not settle the transfer. Liverpool signed him on a long contract and still have a forward with elite movement, finishing, and Premier League experience. Number 4 is currently one of the biggest unanswered questions in football. Number 3, Ousmane Dembélé. Borussia Dortmund to Barcelona, about €148 million. Barcelona bought Ousmane Dembélé only weeks after selling Neymar. The club officially announced a guaranteed fee of €105 million plus up to €40 million in add-ons, while widely used record tables place the overall cost at roughly €148 million. Dembélé had speed, two-footed dribbling, and enormous upside, but repeated injuries stopped him from building continuity in Spain. He still won domestic trophies and produced decisive moments, yet Barcelona never received the consistent superstar they expected. The twist came after he left. Dembélé joined Paris Saint-Germain for far less in 2023 and eventually reached the highest level of his career there. That later success proved Barcelona were right about his talent. Their mistake was paying a near-record price without being able to turn that talent into stable performance. Number 2, Kylian Mbappé. Monaco to Paris Saint-Germain, €180 million. Kylian Mbappé was still a teenager when Paris Saint-Germain arranged an initial loan from Monaco in 2017 with a permanent transfer worth €180 million. He had just helped Monaco win Ligue 1 and reach the Champions League semifinals, but the price still looked extreme for a player with one elite season. Mbappé justified it individually. He became PSG's all-time leading scorer with 256 goals in 308 appearances, won 6 league titles, and grew into one of the defining players of his generation. There is still a complication. PSG never won the Champions League while he was there, and he eventually joined Real Madrid on a free transfer in 2024. The club received historic production but no resale fee and no European trophy. It was a great player purchase, even if it did not complete the club's ultimate objective. Number 1, Neymar. Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain, €222 million. Neymar's 2017 move remains in a category of its own. Paris Saint-Germain activated his €222 million release clause, more than doubling the previous world record. No negotiation, no discount, just the full clause. On the pitch, Neymar was brilliant when available. He helped PSG dominate domestically and reach the club's first Champions League final in 2020. But injuries repeatedly interrupted his seasons, and the Champions League trophy never arrived during his time in Paris. The transfer's biggest effect may have been on the market itself. Barcelona used the Neymar money to buy Dembélé and Coutinho, placing 3 connected deals inside this top 10. Selling clubs knew Barcelona had cash, prices rose, and one transfer created a chain reaction across Europe. 9 years later, Neymar is still number 1. Clubs have spent more aggressively, revenues have grown, and 2 enormous deals entered this list in 2026, but the €222 million record still stands. Which transfer gave the best value, and which was the worst? Leave your answer in the comments, subscribe to Peak Selects, and thanks for watching.